Hello. Um, I wasn't quite sure what I really wanted to say in making this video, because I want what I say to be very Christ-centered and not based in arguments or anything like that, because I just feel like that's pretty futile. Um, I I started searching out this arch of Baal that I've been told that they're going to be building. Well, I thought that it already had been built, but from what I could find, it's not been built yet. But it's there's a chance that it's going to be built soon. And yeah, it's pretty it's very bad. I mean, I agree with that because of what it symbolizes. Yet at the same time, it is a perfect symbol of what this nation has become. So it's a rightful sort of thing to be placed. Um, I started thinking about though how many people have so many problems with this being built, and I wondered how many people realize how many pagan buildings and statues and different things already exist in America. Um, we don't think of the Statue of Liberty as anything but a symbol of America and goodness and liberty and patriotism, but the Statue of Liberty is actually a statue of Ishtar, and she was a goddess. According to, well, I mean, let me get my paperwork here because I really want to get it right. Some of the things that I looked at. Ishtar, Mesopotamian, Babylonian goddess of fertility, love, war, sex, and power. Many sort of think the Egyptian form, a goddess of kind of the same, would be named Isis, ironically. So, but the Sumerian name of the goddess is Inanna, and I've had experience with somebody who used and operated in power by the name of Inanna. And yeah, demons, a lot of demons actually do bow down to that, but the demon of Inanna has to bow down to Jesus Christ, ultimately. Um, Ishtar means the light bringer. That's sort of one of the things. She is beautiful, impulsive, but never a helpmate and never a mother. Okay. She is full of contradiction, and this is so fitting of our nation. Um, on one hand, she creates fire. On the other hand, she's putting fire out. On one hand, she is rejoicing, and on the other hand, she is weeping. She operates in fair play, but then she operates in enmity. Of course, I don't believe this is a real God, of course. It's a demon, is what it is. It's a demonic spirit, or spirits, whatever you want to call it. That's what all of these false gods, I mean, they may have been created by people, but there are demonic spirits that are at power behind it. You know, that they're the ones that carry it out. Or else I wouldn't have seen things submitting to Inanna. And I know you're probably wondering, what in the world? How in the world did you get in a situation like that? Or what is your... Well, you have to know my testimony. And I actually know kind of a great deal about things of the occult. And some of that is very much by experience. Even in my childhood, before I even had a chance to really choose, there were a lot of things that I experienced at the hands of others. So a lot of things I saw, and so anyway, I just wonder if people really understand that about the Statue of Liberty. I remember a few years ago there was a big upset about the the Ten Commandments in Oklahoma, like a statue of it or whatever you want to call it. And the thing that I noticed in that, people didn't want it to be taken away or taken, pulled up and taken away. But the thing that I noticed when I looked at it, it were all the occultic symbols that were on it. And the Eye of Ra, which is, the all-seeing eye, they call it, Ra, of course, is an ancient Egyptian god. That's very, very something that you see very often in a lot of American stuff, especially in the early days. Even on our dollar bill, there's the eye. And I just, it's, people want to think this was founded as a Christian nation and that we were once a Christian nation. But when you go back to the roots and you look at what symbols and statues our forefathers agreed to have set up and how they built their buildings, like Thomas Jefferson specifically wanting a Parthenon sort of, I'm trying to remember exactly what it is. Yeah, like a Parthenon rotund sort of building, which was, in Roman history, that was it was a place where it was dedicated to all the pagan gods, and so you got a lot, and then of course Egyptian. I mean, okay, Washington Monument. I mean, for those who don't know, it is a phallic symbol. Okay, in other words, it's representative of a penis, an erect penis, and it is supposed to be symbolic of the Egyptian god Osiris, whose body was torn apart, and his penis was never found. And this is one of the first things that was built. I don't like to get into conspiracy theories. I just like to look at things that are very obvious and very clear, like there's no denying it. This nation was never a Christian nation. Okay, and Thomas Jefferson fought for Muslims to be able to worship in his lifetime, because there were those who were bothered by it because of the past problems, in history between Islam and Christianity, and he fought for this because of the right to religious freedom. And as I've stated before, like the Bill of Rights is very American, and it's not really, you can't find that it's okay with Christianity. And in Christianity, you've got the Ten Commandments: thou shalt not serve, you shall serve no other gods, and you've got in the Bill of Rights, freedom of religion, worship, practice, assemble in any way you want to. So that's not going to go along with the Bible. So, I mean, our nation was never founded in Christianity, and I do believe that there is, there were a lot of Freemasons, and I do feel Freemasonry it's very much a part of the movement of Enlightenment. And the Enlightenment movement, it served some good purposes, but there were some really bad things that have come out of it. And Enlightenment is the idea that reason is better than ignorance, and you can lead and rule and function a better life using reason and your intellect. And sort of, but it steers too far away from spirituality. That's the problem that it became. And America is very much, because the nation was formed in Enlightenment, sort of like with the Enlightenment movement, with a little bit of Christianity there. We have a nation that basically has grown from generation to generation, within that view of Enlightenment thinking, which has brought a lot of people to places of, being atheist. There is a huge emphasis on knowledge and what you know, rather than what is very spiritual and experienced. So, like I said, I think it's good that we began to use more reason because there's a lot of ignorant things that were happening. And I can kind of see why history sort of moved to that direction. But ultimately, it doesn't mean that it is fully godly. It's not, there's a lot of bad that's come out of it because it's caused a lot of tolerance. Um, and, there's a lot of different symbols that I found in my search on lots of buildings throughout the United States, not just in Washington, D.C. and stuff. I mean, it's everywhere. The pagan symbols. Um, and I mean, I don't want this to be like such a down video, but because I love my country, I love America as much as I hate the sin and the corruption and the hate um, that goes on. I love so many things about this nation. I love that there is at this time, um, there is where I'm living and where I am living at this time in my life. I have found a lot of good Christians and a good church to go to where there's life and there's love and there's a lot of fruit. And I don't know that I could have that in any other nation. I just don't believe I could. And I'm thankful for it. But everything's about to fall apart in this nation. I mean, it's already been falling apart. Um, but it's like I've shared before, the judgment of God has been on America, and it's been on us for a while. I mean, I really saw the beginning of it with the fall of the Twin Towers and the 9/11 attacks. Um, and wave by wave, it's been coming, and God has been merciful in doing some things wave by way. And I think He's done that because wave by wave, because He's done it because I believe He is hearing the prayers of His people and those that are interceding. But with each wave, I do think there is more power and more destruction that comes, and it's pretty obvious to me. I mean, from what I see, with natural disasters and things like that, even the waves just keep getting stronger and stronger. And, we never could have returned this nation to what it once was in thinking that it was Christian to begin with. Because it's like I can even feel it spiritually that this nation was there was a lot of demonic stuff that was sowed in the beginnings of this nation. And I don't think that our founding fathers were evil. They just were deceived. I mean, there is a difference between that. I think some of them definitely were kind of way out there, like Benjamin Franklin and a lot of the things that he did and said, and him saying, "Oh, let's use a snake as our symbol for the nation," and then let's use a snake cut in half, and say "join or die" as part of like the early symbolism and representation and the seal of America. And of course, we know about a lot of other things that he did. And, some of these, and Freemasonry, I can tell you firsthand, it's demonic. It's very much out of that whole Enlightenment era. That's what it was shaped into. And I don't believe it's really changed much from the whole Enlightenment view. Freemason temples are used often as covers for satanic cults. And this I know for a fact, an absolute fact. I do know this. And not all of them are, but even just the regular practicing Freemasons, it's like if you understand it on an intellectual level, it's okay and permissive. But if you begin to understand it on a spiritual level, it's very offensive to the Holy Spirit. And I have family that are very devout Freemasons, and they don't want you to say anything bad. And I've experienced some wrath about that. But, it's based a lot on the ancient Egyptian. I mean, there's more to it than that, but a lot of it is based in ancient Egyptian gods and practices and ideas. And we're talking about ancient Egypt, where the people of Israel, the children of Israel, were kept as slaves. And then there was the big battle between Pharaoh and Moses of freeing them. And I mean, this is the enemy, Ramses. I mean, this is Christians who go to these, who have dedicated themselves and are involved with this. It's like, how can you say you're a Christian and at the same time, like, be okay with all these rituals and things that involve the different gods of ancient Egypt or any other pagan god? I mean, you get to Babylonia. I mean, we're looking at Ishtar and the Statue of Liberty. This is what the Babylonians are, the ones that invaded, Judah, Jerusalem, and during the time of Daniel, Ezekiel, Jeremiah. And it was bad, and I don't understand how we can miss the connections that are there and really not see the evil and depravity that this nation was sown in. I mean, one of the things about Ishtar, I forgot to share this, was that she also protected prostitutes and was the patroness of alehouses, which is basically, debauchery, alcoholism, drinking. There's so many things in this nation that speak of so much evil. I mean, even recently, the murals in the Denver International Airport. And if you've seen those, if you haven't seen those, go see them, because it's very creepy. And there's a lot of rainbows in that, and I feel like I'm kind of bird trailing, and I want to kind of finish up because I don't want to make this too long. But with some experiences that I had, the rainbow, which was a symbol that was used in the Bible, and it's been turned, in my experience, some things that I experienced, okay, it was used as a evil symbol, okay, the rainbow was, and it would trigger, it was very much used in a way that would, I say trigger, and I feel I'm revealing too much information here, but I mean, I was a victim of some mind control as a child. And this rainbow, and the Satanists, they take Christian things and they turn them into symbols that they desecrate. And so one of the things was a rainbow, and the rainbow became a symbol that was used in a very negative way. And I think it's ironic that in the murals you'll see a lot of rainbows. And I don't think it's a coincidence. I don't. And I'm not speaking from a conspiracy theorist view. I am very much speaking from my own experience and what I know and what I've been through. I think I'm going to end this video here, and I hope it's informative. I mean, the prophetic, we should be revealing and exposing what is evil and for what it is. And this nation has been a very wonderful nation. It's been a place where a lot of Christians have been, people have become Christians and missionaries, and we've done charity work all over the world that's been really good. But it was founded with a lot of evil, and it is going to end. And its time is, I mean, America may still be around. It's just not going to be what it was. And, there's a beginning and an end to every great nation, whether it was, Rome, ancient Egypt, ancient Greece. We're going to have ancient America. Sad. But anyway, God bless you all, and I hope you have a wonderful day.